All right. I'm sitting in my car. Actually, that's a lie. I'm sitting in my friend Sandra's car because it's the closest I can come to a sound booth. And I have peer pressured my friend Sandra into participating in this podcast. Sandra, you want to say hi?
Yes, I want to say hello. And I want to say that, like, it was, like, 25% peer pressure and 75% me liking the sound of my own voice.
You know, I want to say that I just want to, like, insert some percentage points in there. Okay. That you're also, like, a really supportive friend.
I like to encourage people to follow their dreams.
It's really true.
It's one of my favorite things about myself.
It's like a really good talent that you have.
Thank you.
Okay, so one of the, like, great things about this friendship that we have is that you're a planner, right? Yes. You're, like, a planner. Like, you think ahead. So my thought was that we were just going to talk. And, instead, we have brainstormed.
Yes.
Which is awesome. So we're looking at this list of, like, possible topics, which is, like, kind of amazing.
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, this is a little less planned out than I thought it was going to be.
Are you serious?
Because there's no script in front of me.
Like, we have like, a bullet-pointed list of topics.
I know. It's perfect. And there's warning signs.
There are warning signs.
Yeah.
There are warning signs because even though there are, like, many, many values that we share in common, mm-hmm. you know, that's, like, the spice of our friendship. There's, like, a couple of things we're not like 100% eye to eye.
Yeah, which is fine. It's what makes our friendship, like, a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, your encouraging spirit.
Yes, also that.
Okay. All right. So should we just, like, start from
the top?
Okay, because all right, we're just going to share our topic list here.
Okay.
So topic number 1 is lady friendships.
With, like, a little sub-bullet of blowouts, like hair blowouts, uh-huh. pretty nails, uñas. And then also just, like, feeling pretty in general. Which, like, that's, like, one of the things that, like, I appreciate a lot.
And then the next one is kids reading good books.
Yeah. I think, like, that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Was, like, talking about talking about books to kids. It was probably, like, one of the foundations of our friendship.
So I like that our foundations are about, like, beauty.
Yes.
And the mind.
Yes.
And, like, young minds.
Yes.
This is a good foundation.
We are multifaceted people.
It's true. Mm-hmm.
Complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Also, coffee shops.
God, we love coffee shops.
Yeah.
We love coffee shops.
Love coffee shops. Love sitting in coffee shops. You're the only other person I know that would, like, willingly spend hours and hours at a coffee shop.
Because, I mean, like, name a flaw in the idea of the whole concept of a coffee shop.
Well, some people like to, like, spend, like, a little bit of time there and then move on.
Yeah, but why?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why mess with it?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Like, they have comfortable seating?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, and then, you know what that deep sigh is? Shakespeare.
Oh, yes.
Shakespeare. Can we talk about Shakespeare? Can we talk about tiny books?
Yes.
Can we talk about Shakespeare's editions of Shakespeare that are bound into, like, tiny book form?
They're really cute.
Really cute. And I collect them.
At the store, they thought they were really cute, too.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, all right. Another item on our list here is tiny books. Mm-hmm. Right? But I'm just going to incorporate that in our conversation right now.
Yeah.
Because I like tiny books. We can talk about it at length another time, but, like, I like tiny books. I really like Shakespeare.
Right.
I really like tiny Shakespeare. Right? And this store also does, except tell them, Godina.
Well, here's the thing, Allie. Here's the thing, is that sometimes you've got these fun, decorative bottles of oils. And you're looking at these bottles of oils and you're wondering to yourself, what would make this pop? What would make this stand out?
And then you think to yourself, like, oh, like the cornerstone of Western civilization.
A tiny Shakespeare book.
A tiny Shakespeare book. And we'll use that as, like, the display.
It's a little coaster.
As like, oh.
It's a coaster.
Dad, like a coaster. Yes. Use it as a coaster for, like, the greatest works in English literature.
Right.
We will put our products on them.
So that people won't buy them.
People will not, they won't open the books. No, but they make, like, a colorful backdrop.
Yeah.
For the bottles of oil that you're trying to sell.
Right. Thankfully, though, there's you. And so you moved the bottles of oil.
I did.
Thankfully.
I did.
And then we promptly walked out of that store as well.
You know, I was tempted to circle back to see if she'd immediately put them back on.
Right.
Because I would have had words with her.
Right.
Like, show some respect. Yeah. You know, for the bard.
Yeah.
They weren't even crappy plays either. We're not even talking about like off-branch. This is not like Titus Andronicus. Like if that had been Titus Andronicus, I've been like, put your earrings on it. You know?
Yeah, no, they were good plays. And also you pointed out that like a couple of them were like in good quality. Like, yeah. And
what kind of monster does that?
Listen.
That's just very upsetting.
I know. You want to talk about something else on our list?
Yeah.
Let's see here. We both like eating. And
we do like eating.
And you like eating very specific things.
Yeah, that's how I got my name.
Right.
That's how I got that name, Planey.
Right.
Yeah. People always like, they're either like surprised by this or they feel like it makes so much sense, you know? But there's not like an elaborate backstory. I just like order my food. Plain. Yeah. And then that's how I got that name, Planey.
So it makes, I'll say this.
Lady Planey.
I love it.
Okay, yeah.
So I will say that like it did not surprise me that you were like meticulous about the way that you ate your food.
Yeah.
But like when we are at a restaurant and you order broccoli, no butter, no anything, and then you can taste the butter on it when it comes out. Yeah. It still blows my mind every time.
Yeah, the thing is like butter is fine, but like why'd you bring me garlic butter? Or because I don't want that in my life.
Or when we go to Chick-fil-A, and you order the sandwich, and you say no butter, no pickles.
Yeah, I don't want those things.
You know they cook the chicken in pickle juice.
Yeah, do you see how that is like substantially different?
It's the nuance. It's the nuance.
Right? Like having like an aftertaste is a completely different culinary experience than having like a disgusting pickle that you have to like bite.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
That's completely different.
Yeah. So myself on the other hand, I just love to eat. I love all sorts of food. I'm gonna go get ramen for dinner tonight. I'm pretty excited about it.
Delicious.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Delicious.
I've been thinking about it for, what time is it right now? 7 p.m. And yesterday at 7 p.m. I said, I'm gonna go eat this food. Person, do you want to go eat this food as well? And they were like, absolutely.
Is that what we're calling them now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
Erstwhile person? It's like person.
It's like person.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Don't do that.
No, I apologize. I apologize.
Thank you.
All right.
So I really like all of it. Can I say like one thing about the ramen?
Yeah.
Was that the last time I went to this ramen place, first of all, they don't have tables or chairs.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you pay to eat in an establishment that does not... What? Where do you eat?
So you stand at a ledge. And can I say this? And I'm going to be very cognizant of the way I say it. There's no takeaway. So you can't, there's no like, it's not takeout. And if you don't finish your meal, there's no takeout.
I'm still stuck at the fact that like they don't let you sit down.
There are no chairs. It's very small. And so you stand at a little ledge and they give you your ramen and you sit there and you slurp or eat your soup stuff. And then whatever.
You know that this is one of my restaurant things.
I know.
I don't like the high tables. The high tables.
Right.
Because it makes me feel like I'm 5.
Right, because the legs are swinging.
Yeah, the legs are swinging.
Yeah.
And...
Well, my legs are firmly planted on the floor at this place. But,
also don't do counter ordering.
Oh, yeah, you would not like this spot.
No, because I want to, like, sit in a chair, and then I want somebody to come by, and then ask me what I want to eat, and then I'll eat it.
Yeah, so I will say, like, the other thing about you that I have noticed is that, like, you're not just, like, meticulous about the way that you eat your food.
Yeah.
But just the way you live your life.
Yeah.
Which is, like, funny.
Like, are we saying that I'm monstrously picky? Because I am.
No, it's just like you have like a very specific idea about the way life should be.
Yeah, I don't think Shakespeare should be used
as coasters.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
It's like in a restaurant, I just want to sit down.
Right.
Like I want to sit in a chair. You know, like these are the principles I live my life by.
I like it. I like immediately after meeting you, I was like, I need to have like more opinions about the way my life goes. It's true. Like, I remember, like, because I met you my first year teaching, and then immediately after my first year teaching, I drove home to Atlanta, and I spent the summer at home. And, like, that was the summer where I was like, oh, like, I have, like, opinions about the way I want to live my life. Like, I want to spend my days, like, reading. And so, like, I did that for, like, 2 or 3 days, and then my mom yelled at me and was like, you need to do a little something else. And then, like, Yeah, and like, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to a museum. And then like I went, and like I lost my car in Atlanta. And I called her distressed, and she was like, well, why are you going to museums by yourself?
Was it a good, like, what'd you see at the museum?
Oh, you know what? It was
what?
It was, you know, there's that, like, human rights museum in Atlanta?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wanted to go see it, and my family was, like, running around busy. Everybody had their own thing going on. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to go by myself.
And you had a meaningful experience.
Well, yes, but then it was, like, you know, sort of, it was rough because I lost my car. It was really scary. Thankfully, I found a parking attendant in a little golf cart, and he let me ride around with him for a while till we found it.
I have full sympathy for you because that has definitely happened to me.
No, there are very few people in this world who would appreciate something like that, but it's definitely you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It happens.
So, so all of that to say is that you have, like, a very particular way of existing in the world, and, like, after I met you, I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that.
I like this positive spin. I like this positive spin. It's very generous of you.
I don't think it's me being generous. That was, like, my reflection. My mom had other thoughts.
But you're like, no, I'm about the museum and book life.
I am, which I was before.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, like, I didn't, like make a point of it. Like, if I read a book, I read a book. But I was, like, intentionally being, like, well, like, I'm the sort of person that reads, so I'm going to read more books. I'm going to do more things. Yeah. And so I read, like, a really, really thick book and made a point of, like, walking around with it and being like, this is the book I'm reading, like, da-da-da. You know? Yeah. So it was, like, a...
Well, wait, but what book are we talking about?
Oh, my gosh. It was a really thick Maya Angelou book.
Oh.
And I can't remember...
That's intense.
I know. It was really... I, like, cried a lot. It's in the house, but it was, like, very thick. And I think it was, like, a couple of her books, like, coupled together. And so I just, like, read them one after the other. But it was, like, it was, like, really intense. And, like, I probably should not have been reading that straight, like, over the course of, like, 2 or 3 days. I probably should have, like, taken it.
That's really interesting, because I think that, like, there are, like, certain pieces of art or books or whatever that are not, like, it's because binge watching is a thing. Like, I think, like, we're conditioning ourselves so that, like, you inhale something.
Yes.
And, like, sometimes we talk about, like, you know, reading a book in a go, like,
right.
Like, it's a mark of a good book, like, I just couldn't put it down or whatever. But there are some books that are really, like, they need to be sipped.
Yes.
A little bit,
yes.
Just because, like, the intensity, or just let them, like, filter in.
No, I agree, because there are definitely books that I've, like, zoomed through and, like, wish that I had taken my time with, because people will then talk about them, and I would have, like, missed a plot point, or I missed, like, some important, like, thematic note, because I was just, like, flying through it for the sake of nothing, really, you know?
There are, like, some books that I like, either read at the wrong time in my life, or I was reading for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, if reading something because somebody has told you that you would like it, you know, and, like, then I don't have the right mindset because my expectations are off, or even, like, I don't know. There are, like, sometimes when I get completist. Like, I feel obligated
to just finish it. Yeah.
And then, like, what I really should do is just, like, let it go.
Yeah.
And then if it really speaks to me, then at another point I would pick it up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like I'm like that, not just about books, but, like, TV shows, movies, anything. That's
good. I think that, like, that just, like, requires, like, a bit of, like, self-reflection, because like, you know, I think that's fair. Wait, this, like, brought up another question for me.
Okay.
That I've asked, like, a couple of people, but, like, another thing on our list is, like, art and books, and we just talked about books for a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
so now let's talk about art.
Okay, yeah.
And so the dorky question I've been asking people is, what was the last piece of art that you cried at? And I don't know if you're the sort of person that cries at art, but
that's an intense question.
I know.
That's a really intense... Okay, are we talking about, like, any expression of art? Like, or are we talking about, like, visual, like, a painting art?
So I think, like, I'd love to hear, like, a piece of visual art that made you cry, but just in general, if you, like, have, like, some sort of, like, some other experience, then I think that's fair as well.
You know, so I enjoy going to museums with people, but one of the reasons that I do like to go by myself is because sometimes I, like, when I'm with people, I talk or do stuff, and it gets very intellectual, and, like, when I'm by myself, like, I'm just experiencing.
Yes, thank you for articulating that. I was trying to explain that to somebody the other day and had a really hard time, and they just, like, laughed at me.
But it can be, like, be very personal, you know, and like, so there are a lot of pieces over the years that have kind of, like, hit me in the gut, or I've had, like, an emotional reaction to. But the one that really stands out in my memory is it's a long time ago. This is the first time I ever went to Italy. So I had built it up in my mind so much that I wanted to go. And there's this whole genre of stuff about, like, going to Italy. Right. And all of my friends were worried that I had built it up so much that there just wasn't a way that it was going to live up to that expectation.
Right.
And then I got there and it did.
That's beautiful.
Because it really is one of those places that, like, it is like that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place.
Right.
So I'm there. It's my first time in Italy, and I went to the town of Siena. So Siena is a little town in Tuscany, and like, there's a famous horse race that's there. But the thing that stands out is that their patron saint is Saint Catherine, and the church of I think it's called the Church of Saint Catherine. I honestly don't remember. We went there, and I don't know what I was expecting. But I've been to a lot of churches in my life. Like, I've been to a lot of churches, especially in Mexico. There are cathedrals everywhere. They're very beautiful.
Right.
You know, I'd been to other cathedrals in Europe, or even, like, smaller churches. They have paintings, they have carvings. Like, it's really beautiful. So I like, it's not that I had never seen a really beautiful church before, but we walked in, and that's the first and only time in my life that I understood that the word breathtaking is, like, something that just, like, physically knocks the air out of your body. Because everywhere my eye hit, the floor, the ceilings, the walls, just every single bit of it had been made to delight the eye.
Yeah.
There were just paintings, there were carvings, there's a library with medieval manuscripts, and it was just all, like, the sum total of it was just beautiful. You know, and it physically hit me, and I cried. I, like, totally teared up and cried, and I had to, like, try to find, like, a quiet corner in, like, a really heavily touristed area.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just something else. And I kind of never want to go again because that memory is so, like, distinct to me.
That's awesome.
You know. So you asked the question.
Yeah.
Do you have a piece?
Yeah. So, okay. So when I was little, I used to watch Arthur.
Yes.
Lots of Arthur. And so in Arthur, there's an episode where Binky, who's sort of like the bully on Arthur,
right,
goes to a museum. The whole class goes to a museum, but, like, Binky notices something is off about a painting. Do you know this episode? Okay, so he notices something is off about this painting, and it's help me out with because I don't actually know how to say this guy's name, but it's Mondrian, or...
Oh, dang, you have, like, hit on the one. I actually, like, toggled 2 or 3 different ways of saying his name to hope to, like, never get caught up. I don't know how to say it.
So I, like...
Mondrian, maybe?
Mondrian? I don't know.
Yeah.
So anywho, so it's this guy, and, you know, he does all the geometric work and, like, primary colors.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So Binky says, man, I know that painting from somewhere, and, like, something is off about it. And so he goes and he does, like, a little bit of research, which is, like, surprising to everyone because he's, like, the class bully, and, like, everyone thinks he's kind of a dope. Come to find out, the museum has hung it upside down. I know. And so I remember watching this episode with my brother, and they, like, flip it, and I'm getting goosebumps, and it's a freaking cartoon.
But it was meaningful to you.
So they flip it, and Binky knows, like, I did that, you know, which I really think is really awesome. So anywho, last November, I like traveled on my own for the first time. I went to, well, I guess not on my own. I was with a friend, but I was in the UK and I was in London, so I went to the Tate, and I went to the Tate by myself. And so I'm walking around, and I turn a corner and I see the painting.
Wow.
And I just get like really overwhelmed because I don't think that like little girl Sandra watching Arthur like ever knew that she was going to see that painting in real life. And so I got goosebumps like telling the story, but it's just like
that is really lovely.
It's really special to me, and like it just like reminds me like how special my life turned out. I think like it's really cool. Snap. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to end our episode on that because that was like so. I love that.
So art is just really special, and I love it.
Thank you for being my friend, and thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got to do this. This was perfect.
All right, my friend.